the world are here. Wow.
Oh my God.
Hello, everyone. Welcome from Switzerland. Sweden. I don't know where we are. It is Wednesday, isn't it?
Mr. Stephen Bowman and Mrs. Gisela Bowman are in Stockholm. As the worldwide coordinator, I know what city they are at the moment.
Heavens for Leeson. Well, we're almost on time. So, Fatma, have you been able to put on the Hungarian link as well? Okay, I think we're ready. Welcome everyone to Intimacy with Money for the next 3 months. So we just want to thank everyone for making the choice to actually join us over this period of time so that we can actually get into and really explore and really start to put to be the energy of intimacy with money. And that's really what we want to explore today. What does this look like? What do we mean by intimacy with money? And we will, at some stage, mute the people as they come on. Hi, Laszlo.
Sorry.
So we will start off this whole conversation by welcoming you to what we've called, or what is now called, the Wealth Creators Anonymous. This is something that Access Consciousness had set up not that long ago, a couple of weeks ago, where we invite everyone to actually be a wealth creator. And this is really what we want to focus on in the next 3 months with you. Wealth Creators Anonymous, just for you, just for fun. So the energy of being Wealth Creators Anonymous is really what we want to have a chat with you about now. Do you want to start with that?
As you can see that the title is a wealth creator, not problem dissolver. So the whole things about this class is to create space for you to create wealth beyond what you have already creating in your current reality. So if you have any problem with your life, with your financial reality, please realize that there are different ways and different possibilities that you can create your life. So please do not focus on your problem. Please start looking at what else is possible for my life, because we reckon that since you made the choice to be part of this call called Intimacy with Money, you're making the choice to find out what else is possible. What can you be and do that would allow you to have more money and more wealth in your life? So we
have to remember the translators. Are we going to quickly, translators?
They're translating simultaneously. Okay. So is that all right, Fatma?
Okay, we got the thumbs up.
So should I speak slower? No? Okay, cool. All right. So, so please recognize that if what you are creating in your life right now and you're not happy with it, there are different possibilities.
So we want to be with you over the next 3 months to invite you to look at the different possibilities that are already out there, but some things may need to change so that you have access to them. You know, what if we had the willingness to actually generate something totally different in our life that included money? And when we talk about intimacy with money, we'll actually go into some depth with you about what does that actually look like and some very practical things. But in all of this, it's the energy that you're choosing to be that is going to make the biggest difference in all of this. No amount of doing will help unless you're willing to be the intimacy with money.
What would we like to create for you all is about living life from the energy of it. It's not just about do from linear construct, but from the state of being that allowing you to be everything that you could possibly be. So everything that would not allow you to have that, be that, create that. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What our target is, we going to be doing a lot more clearing within these 3 months than how Steve and I normally do in a lot of classes, because we realize that clearing is a way to get rid of your limitations. So create a space for you to have more, to be more, and to create more. So if you focus on your doubt, your limitation, we're going to be clearing that to allow you to have more space to create wealth in your life. So what is intimacy with money, Steve?
Well, what a good question. It's where you're willing to be with the energy of no judgment, no expectation, no conclusion, no projection. It's that energy where everything is included.
Well, the energy, the intimacy with money is a space of being vibrationally compatible with money, vibrationally appealing to money. So for you to have the intimacy with money is like for you to have money love you more than anyone else in the world love you. Can you imagine what it would be like if you have money truly love you, have money truly last after you? But first, you have to like money. You know, a lot of people say, I want to have intimacy with money, but you have a lot of judgment. You have a lot of conclusion, projection, and point of view about money. So when we say you have to like money, do you like money? When we ask people that question about do you like money, and to have intimacy with money, you have to be willing to like money, and the money, you have to be willing to allow money to love you. And that brings up a lot of resistance in people.
How many of you have immediately gone to the visual of some piece of paper or some gold coin and saying, oh, I love that? What if money was none of that? Because what we're talking about here is the energy of money. I mean, the true purpose of money is to create change. And the energy of creating change is what we invite you to be intimate with.
So everywhere that when you hear us say that we have to like money, and everywhere that bring up a lot of judgment and fixed point of view about wrongness, badness, terrible, anything, everything that come up as being bad, wrong, and terrible about liking money, would you like to destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. All of the fixed point of view, all of the judgment, all of conclusion, projection, expectation that you have about how bad, how wrong, how terrible would be to like money. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Because if you don't like money and you don't have intimacy with money, you will not be able to create wealth beyond what you already have.
So when we talk about liking money, go to the energy of having no judgment. You know, when you truly like someone or something, you have no judgment of it. You just want to be around it. It's very cool to be around. It likes to be around you. Both are nurturing to each other. It's the energy that creates that. It's not the doing of things, but it's that energy of that intimacy of, it's nice to be around that energy. if you are willing to have that as the intimacy with money, then you're going to start creating from outside of this reality. Because most people see money as something that is to be used, or money that is something that is outside of them. What if none of that was true? What if money actually was the energy that you were willing to be?
Money is nothing more than just energy. Money doesn't do anything. Money doesn't actually really create anything. Money just creates a space for you to have more choice and more possibilities. Okay, now, could you consider that money is just no more than creating space for you to have more choice and more possibilities? If you could see money from that space, you could create something totally different in your life. Because most people tend to focus on creating more money and getting more money from a space of lack and from space of not enough. If you could see money just purely from the thing that can create more choice and more possibilities in your life, that will allow you to create more choice and more possibilities in your life. So start looking at money from that space instead of looking at money from what you're going to buy, what you're going to spend on, what you're going to use money to create your reality.
Nancy's made a comment there about needing money to live. How do you change your point of view about, and then it can be anything after that essentially, how do you change your point of view that you need money to live? Well, change your point of view.
So what point of view, what definition, what conclusion, what projection do you have about money that if you don't have it, would create totally different possibility for you? If you believe that you need money to live, that's what you're going to focus on, needing money to live. But if you know that you can create money with total ease, and you are the creator source of your reality, not the money. If you say that I need money to survive and to live, you give the power to the money. You make the money the creator source of your reality.
And there's no energy, there's not a recognition of the energy of it. You're creating it as a physical thing that you either have or you don't have. Whereas money does nothing. It is just energy. It is just that energy. And we all know that money comes in many, many different forms. So it's not just the folding stuff or the clinking stuff or the stuff that's in your wallet or in your bank account. It is the stuff that helps you have greater choice in many things.
What definition are you using about money that create the lack of money are you choosing? Everything that is time of God, zillion, destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What conclusion, projection, expectation, and judgment about you, about your life, about the need to have money to live, and the need to have money to survive, and the need to have money to create your reality? Everything that is time of God, zillion, destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What if the sense that you need to have money to live is just a lie? It's a lie of this reality. It's a lie of this contextual reality. That the contextual reality say that how do I fit? How do I benefit? How do I win? And how do I not lose? And the money become part of that. So if you're hanging on to that point of view, according to this reality, you're going to create less in your life. So would you be willing to destroy and create it and look at what else is possible? Let go of the fixed point of view about how things are supposed to be and be willing to create your life from the generative moment of what else is possible. What else can I create and generate here beyond what I have ever considered? So everywhere that you're still hanging on to the need to have money to live, destroy and uncreate it all, please. right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds.
We could spend the whole call talking with you about different ways of creating and getting money. It would be a waste of everyone's time because you're not going to do it anyway.
We are going to be talking about a majority of the call for the next 3 months. Going to be talking about create wealth, create more money in your life. But until you are willing to let go of the definition of money, definition of the lack of money, definition of you in regarding to money, unless you're willing to let that all go, you won't be able to see the space of different possibility to generate obscene wealth, obscene money in your life, because you all can do that. The only reason why you're not having that at the moment because you have all these definition, conclusion, projection, expectation, and judgment based on everyone else's point of view. So all of the scarcity point of view that you have bought as real and true, destroy and create it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, we are going to talk about intimacy with money. It's about having vibrationally compatible with money. Would you like to be vibrationally compatible with money? Anyone here wouldn't want to be vibrationally compatible with money?
Here's your chance to hang up.
Vibrationally appealing to money, you know. So what we would like to invite you to look at is making a choice, because being vibrationally compatible with money is a choice that you have to make to be that. We can invite you, we can give you the tool, we can process you out of limitation, but unless you actually make a choice to be vibrationally compatible with money, perceive that energy now, please, what it means to be vibrationally compatible with money. So, now tap into what would your life be like if the money, if you are being money, if you are being obscene amount of money beyond what you actually have at the moment. Perceive that energy now, what it's like to have ease with money. What would it be like if you have no problem with money? All of money come to you with ease, joy, and glory. Feel that energy. Be that energy now. The energy of peace, the energy of joy, the energy of infinite choice and infinite possibilities.
Saskia's written on here, yes. How?
Saskia.
We love you, Saskia.
Saskia, there's no how.
There's no how.
There's no how. Because as soon as you ask how, it's become a linear construct. It's not how. It's like, okay, I'm choosing to be that right now. Destroy and uncreate everywhere that would not allow me to be that. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, I said that, so you have to say it to yourself. Destroy and uncreate everything that would not allow me to be that. You have to make a choice. You have to commitment to be vibrationally compatible with money. Okay, so what I would invite you to do is every morning before you get out of bed, you just lie in there, maybe half asleep or half awake, tapping into what it would be like to have ease with money, the energy of joy, the energy of possibilities, the energy of unlimited choices. Tap into that energy and just be that energy before you actually get out of bed. Would you be willing to do that every day for the next 2 weeks until we see each other again? Every morning, lying there, tap into the energy. I'm being vibrationally compatible with money.
Which means the ease, the joy, the sense of infinite possibilities. That's the energy of the intimacy with money?
So this question that I would like you to run every morning, and if you are courageous and really truly want to really be that, do it at night time before you fall asleep as well. Tap into the energy of you being vibrationally compatible with money and vibrationally appealing to money. And you can run this process. What generative energy, space, and consciousness can my body and I be that would allow us to be vibrationally compatible and vibrationally appealing to money with total ease? Destroy and uncreate everything that would not allow that. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. What generative energy, space, and consciousness can you and your body be that would allow you to be vibrationally compatible with money and vibrationally appealing to money with total ease? Destroy and uncreate everything that would not allow that. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And when you have the barrier coming up, which a lot of you will have a barrier coming up about how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I can't do it. Lower the barrier down. Just keep lower your barrier down and be open to possibilities. And keep doing that process. What generative energy, space, consciousness can my body and I be that would allow us to be vibrationally compatible and vibrationally appealing to money with total ease? Destroy and uncreate everything would not allow that. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond.
Do you get a sense of how your day might just start off with something like that? You're not starting the day off with, oh God, I don't want to get out of bed. I've got all these problems I'm really not looking forward to. That's what you'll create. If you're willing to start the day off being vibrationally compatible with money, which is the ease, the joy, the sense of possibility, and you start your day off from that, guess what? You'll see things. You'll be aware of things that you have never, ever seen or been aware of before. Always been there, but your points of view have stopped you from seeing them. And this is what people who are truly intimate with money, this is how they choose to be. And every single one of you can choose this as well, but you do have to choose it.
Questions? Anyone have the question so far about doubt, about why they can't do, about why they can't be? We have one question came in from a German participant asking about doubt, I think. So the sum up is what to do with the doubt. Okay, well, what doubt are you using to eliminate your true capacity that you can use to generate obscene amount of money with total ease? You are choosing everything that not allow you to destroy your doubt, destroy and uncreate it all. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, online, shorts, boys, and beyond. Because doubt is not real. Doubt is the creation. So what judgment do you have about you and about your capacity that create that doubt? Because if you don't have a judgment, if you don't have a point of view about it, and you go into the question about, would this be fun? Would this create possibilities? Would this create more in my life? And keep going and doing it without trying to see the outcome of what it's supposed to be. A lot of us have doubt because we have a fixed idea about how we should achieve the outcome. If you don't have if you're not vested in the outcome, you just create just for the fun of it and just keep on creating. And you just create more and more. Why would you have any doubt?
Sonia wrote into us saying, how can I resolve the doubts that keep cropping up that I make absolutely money with something that makes me happy? I block it in such a way that I don't even know what I enjoy anymore. And that again is the doubt and the judgment, the expectations, the projections. And it can only occur if you're seeing money as something that is external to you. And this is what most people think. Money is something external. It's got to be, it's got to look like this outside of me. And what we're suggesting to you, that it's a lot easier than that if you choose to actually be vibrationally compatible with money. Now, Daniela has said, can we please explain what do we mean by vibrationally compatible? There's a couple of things that we'll say there. One of them is it's that sense of sense of peace, that sense of ease, that sense of joy, sense of possibility. But it's also got a long history. Vibrationally compatible has been around for centuries. Some of you know the story, the harmonic coherence story of a Dutch clockmaker, Hans Huygens, I think his name was, back in the 1600s, who recognized that when he put a whole lot of grandfather clocks, you know, the ones with the swinging pendulums, of different sizes, if he put them in a room together and he shut the room, and he had them all swinging at their different frequencies, within one day, they would all attune themselves and swing with exactly the same frequency as the largest grandfather clock. And so what they showed from there is that the vibrations, the energy that was occurring actually harmonically entrained everything else around it. And this is what led to mathematics theory. It's led to the harmonic scales, music theory, and actually now quantum physics. It all comes back to that observation that energy entrains itself to energy. You want to make a difference in your world? Change the energy around it.
So it is true, it is real that if you are having the same vibration as the money, then the money will come to you with ease. But if your vibration is from lack, from not enough, from totally scarcity, and if you function from projection, expectation, and judgment about money, would money want to be with you? Ask yourself that. The state that I am being right now, the state, if I'm constantly judging money. For example, if you have a friend who constantly judging you, a friend who constantly criticizing you, would you want to be with that friend, with that person? So it's exactly the same thing. You can feel the energy. If you go into the party that's full of conflict, full of upheaval, full of trauma and drama, would you want to be there? So if you create your life and your reality that's full of judgment, full of conclusion, full of scarcity, lack, not enough, would the money want to come and be at your party? So everywhere that you're choosing to create your life from the space of scarcity and lack, that is the space that you create the lack of money in your life. Please, please, please receive this. If you can't hear us right now, destroy and uncreate all of the barrier that you put up. Destroy and uncreate all of the resistance to receive this information, this awareness that you can create different possibilities, but you must lower the barrier now and look at different possibilities. We have so many goodies to share with you about what you could be doing to create more wealth, more money in your life in the next, the next 3 months. But unless you destroy and uncreate the scarcity and lack, unless you destroy and uncreate the conclusion, projection, expectation, and judgment about money, about wealth, about people who have a lot of money, you're not going to be able to create that in your life.
You won't even hear it. So this is what we're inviting you to do. Just consider this. How many wealth creation seminars are there out there? How many ways of people tell you can increase your wealth? if they actually worked, why isn't everyone wealthy? If they actually worked. And the reason for that is that people are not willing to be intimate with money. They're trying to get money. And getting money never, ever, ever works. There's so much out there. It is an infinite universe, actually full of infinite money. You'll only be able to tap into that if you actually choose to be vibrationally compatible with money. And don't forget, that means the ease, the joy, the sense of wonderment, the sense of extreme possibilities in everything. As soon as you go into the problem, the lack, I need to get, you've just destroyed all of that money that was wanting to get your attention.
And are you aware of that when you say, can you please define it? What vibrationally compatible actually mean? You already bring it into this contextual reality. And everywhere you say, I need to know how, you already limit the possibility of you being vibrationally compatible with money. So thank you, Saskia, for bringing that question up, because I'm sure you are a voice.
She was the mouthpiece for just about everyone.
For a lot of people, because people might be thinking about it but not willing to ask. So for you asking that, allow us to say it's undefinable, unconfinable, and you have to be willing to embody and be that energy, and be willing to be greater than what you have been willing to be before, to be able to have that energy. So everywhere that would not allow you to be that, destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. You know that each and every one of us have moments. Some of us have a smaller moment of being that vibrationally compatible with money, because you know, the moment that you feel so ease with money, the moment that you feel peace and joy and possibilities and infinite choice, that's the moment that you are totally being in the space of vibrationally compatible with money. Just tap into your life. Some of you might only have about 2 seconds of being vibrationally compatible with money. But what would it take for you to keep on expand more and more and more and more? It is truly possible. It is truly possible. You just have to make the choice to be that.
And please don't forget, money is not a thing. Money is an energy that comes in many forms, right? And the biggest thing that we see people do is that they think they've defined money as this, and it's not. Money comes in all sorts of different forms, all sorts of different energies, and don't forget, money does not do anything. It's well, I was just going to say, all it does is it increases your capacity to have different choices. How can you judge that? If you're willing to increase your capacity to have even more choices, that's the energy of money.
But first, could I actually say this, that if you starting to judge yourself about the fact that you haven't even sensed the ease with money, please don't, do not, that's the first thing, do not judge, because as soon as you judge yourself, you make it wrong. There's no such thing as right or wrong, good or bad. You can make different choice. You can make a new choice now to start having vibrational of money in your life. So everywhere that you still think, oh, that I can't do that. It's so wrong. It's terrible. It's wrong to be money. It's wrong to have the vibration of money. Destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I mean, some of you are not even aware that you have that point of view because it doesn't belong to you. But there's a lot of collective unconsciousness that's saying it's so wrong to want money. It's so wrong to want to be money. It's so wrong to be greedy. The rich people are terrible and horrible. Wealthy people are greedy, and they must have done something really bad to be that wealthy. So everywhere that you have that point of view, and everywhere that you have that sense of point of view that you don't even know that you have, destroyed and created our place. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, online, shorts, boys, and beyonds. I think we've done a lot of clearing now to try to get people to actually look at the possibility of being money. And please do it yourself, because really for you to get benefit out of this intimacy with money 3-month session and start create money and wealth in your life, you have to be willing to do this clearing and choosing to be and choosing to have this vibration of money and willing to be money and willing to have money, because the intimacy with money and consciousness with money, there are 4 key things that you will have to be willing to do. And those are 4 key things. Is number 1, you have to be willing to have money. You have to be willing to generate money instead of trying to get money from linear construct. The third one is you have to be willing to educate yourself about money to be able to generate and create more money in your life. And the 4th thing, that's the most important for me, is generosity of spirit, benevolent way of being in the world. So when we're talking about being money, we're not talking about being from a space of greed, the space of just for me, kingdom of me, but space of wishing well for all. Space of if each and every one of us can make more money, can you imagine all the change we can create in the world?
So every point of view that you've got, and Sabine, for you, every point of view she's written, I have a really interesting point of view about investing money, and then there's other stuff in there as well too.
What is the interesting point of view about investing money?
In something other than herself. So I have this interesting point of view about investing money in something other than me, as mostly in all what I invested in, bank papers, gold, other currencies, I've lost 2/3 of what I've invested. When I heard you speak about how you're investing money in the digital currencies and the possibilities they bring, then I got a different view. And still I have an uneasy issue around it. Can we expand on that?
Investment for us is about creating possibilities. If you go into investing on anything purely just to make money and not looking at the possibility that you create with that investment, you're going to put too much attention and focus on making money. And you are being money. You don't have to go and make money. And a lot of people invest from the space of getting money. Can you tap into the energy? When people invest from the space of getting money, then they invest from a space of lack, from a space of not enough, from a space of fear of losing. And it's always from a space of, if I lose, I'm going to really lose everything. The thing is, if you create the investment from a space of possibility, you're willing to lose it because you know that you can create it back.
Did you hear that last bit?
Yes,
you're willing to lose because you know that you can create. Nothing can stop you from creating except you. Sabine, you've got the mic.
Yes. So what I can say is like, you're right. I did it from the point of view in the past years about like securing, let's say, my old days. And that has totally changed. But it's like what I can see when I'm next to people in reality is like money is constantly coming, and I can create totally actually easy and have access to that. And still it's like there is nothing where other people have money for, let's say when they are 60, 70, 80. It's like I will not have that, because it's like I've never paid that much money in the reasons. And so I still feel sometimes the shaking with that.
Sabine, first I like to say that, it's never too late. It's never too late to generate and expand and grow your money.
You can only stop creating money probably about 3 or 4 years after you're dead.
Mm-hmm. No matter how old you are, it's never too late. If you are going into the trying to save for pension and things, and you haven't made enough save enough money yet, it's never too late. So start being in the question of what else is possible. And what I really like what you were saying there is that now you're starting to tap into the energy of people, that people who function from possibility and wealth. You just keep on growing and expanding more money. But if you go into investing just because you need to make those, 5% return on investment or something, and if you lose that, you're going to lose everything. You're going to be so fearful. And the choice that you make with investment will be not expansive choice.
And that's 99% of every single person on this planet who invests.
Just purely for money.
There is nothing more depressing than the people who are investing in stock markets or investing in real estate or whatever it might be, because they're doing it to get more money. They've already made a decision about what it is that they want, and they're constantly disappointed because nothing ever actually meets the decision they'd already decided, the definition. Those that actually truly know how to invest have no point of view about what it's going to look like. And they do it from that space.
Wow.
And therefore are willing to change it when it needs to change.
And you know what, Sabine?
Wow, thank you.
Go on, Sabine.
Go on, Sabine.
Yeah, it's like I just really got an insight. Actually, I'm not uneasy with what I'm doing. I feel totally uneasy how the other people are doing that, because it's not my way. And I had never this awareness that. Thank you for bringing that up.
I think if you're going to any of you, not just Sabine, is if you're choosing stock markets or property investment or a cryptocurrency or anything else that you want to invest, you have to start developing your awareness. You have to start investing from the joy and the fun of it. What I see most people do is they're just investing just for money, not investing for the joy and the fun of it. That's what we want to talk about here. Is a lot of people don't see financial reality as joy and fun, as part of their life and living. They see it as a burden that they have to do to create, to generate, to survive. So unless you do everything from the joy of it, the money will not come with ease. So no matter what you do, like you hear all the time when you said, if you do something that you love doing, money will follow. So why don't you develop the capacity to really love and have fun and enjoy investing?
And you can't have that if you've got a point of view about what it should look like.
Mm-hmm. If you don't, everywhere that you don't believe that investing and growing your money and using money, allowing money to grow money for you as fun and joy that create different possibility, destroy and create it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POT, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyond. For you to be able to be money and to generate obscene amount of money, it will have to be fun. It will have to be fun. If you don't think it's going to be fun, and if you don't think it's going to be a burden, it's not going to create different possibilities for you. Everywhere that you don't perceive that it is truly possible to have fun with money, to have fun investing your money. Destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, online, shorts, boys, and beyond. Learning to invest your money or learning to allow your money to grow and to expand and be more with total ease is a skill, it's a talent and ability that you have to develop and you have to practice every day. And this is now the time that you have to crank up your awareness, your ability to function from the question, choice, possibility, and contribution to be a great investor.
And it starts with your point of view to have no point of view about what it should look like.
For example, I do a lot of, doesn't matter what it means, but I do a lot of a share trading for our business called put option. And put option is like at the end of certain week, if the stock price going below a certain price, I will get a sign. And then I have to have enough money to be able to buy stock when the stock gets a sign. So those are the kind of things that you have to develop the skill, talent, and ability to understand what it means to do that. So everywhere that start confusion for you right now, destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, online, shorts, boys, and beyond. What I'm trying to say is that the example is on last Friday, the Tesla stock was doing so well, like it's 300 and something per share. But Elon Musk
opened his mouth
again, and the SEC going to sue him. So the stock price went from $307 per share down to $264. And I had to tap into my awareness. I had to tap into, okay, if I hang on to this stock, will it create greater possibility for us? Because you have to tap into the knowing that things will shift and change over the weekend. And you have to trust in your capacity that, okay, if something happened over the weekend, you'll be able to deal with it. And you're willing to lose all the money as well if something not going to return and get better. So basically, I hold on to the stock. And the stock that went from $260 now to $307. So we made all the money back and much more.
They did that because they removed him as the chairman of the board. So everyone thought that was a good idea. So the stock price went up. This is the insanity of this world, folks.
Mm-hmm. So I'm telling that story is not just to confuse you, but to basically give you the example that if you're going to truly invest in stock in any market, you have to develop the capacity and educate yourself about it. Unless you can educate yourself about it and tap into your awareness of when you should buy, when you should sell, what you should do about it, and the willingness to lose the money if it's happened, you're not going to be able to have fun with it.
Can I say the greatest thing that Chutisa said is that your willingness to lose. Now, the interesting thing is, it's never a problem because guess who the creator source of everything is? You. You are. You can never actually lose money. It just has turned out different to what you had expected. If you truly know that you can always create more. You can create more through your job. You can create more through the work that you do. You can create more through creating new businesses. And there's some inspirational stories of some of the people that are here with us on this call that we've seen them come from pretty much nothing, and they just chose to create and create and create. Not one thing, but many things.
Well, if you trust in yourself that you will be able to create more, no matter what you lose, you will be able to create more than that.
This is true investing, by the way.
So Sabine, so everywhere that you do not allow you to see that you lost 2/3 that you could create more than the 2/3 that you lost with total ease. Destroy and uncreate it all, please.
Mm-hmm.
Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD,
Yes.
nine shorts, boys.
And also, Sabine, it's not about willing to lose and rebuild. It's about willing to lose and constantly create. They're totally different. The willingness to lose and constantly create. Because if you're looking to rebuild something, then you've got a base and you want to build it back up again, and then you'll probably lose it again, and then you'll build up again, and then you'll lose it again. This is how it works. But if you know that you can constantly...
Yeah, I didn't mean it that way.
Ah.
I meant it the way you said it. It's like basically I never stopped creating. But I can see that even
we love you, Sabine.
Thank you so much for saying that.
And it's like, so everything what I lost, I have much more now.
Yes.
So this, and I'm just astonished that this comes up, because I have done now by the 9th time the being money, becoming money book, yeah, and I do it even in calls with people, and it tremendously gets greater and greater and greater, and still this question was there today. So and I can say it expands anytime something like this comes up, and for me, thank you. You expanded a lot right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, maybe not only for me, maybe also for a lot of others in here.
That's a great example, Sabine, that if you're willing to lose and you trust that you trust in your capacity to create and generate more with total ease, then losing is not a problem.
Nothing can stop you.
Losing is not a problem, because if you're willing to lose everything, you can have everything. And if you're willing to lose, then your capacity to make the choice in that moment, it's expanded. Like I said to you, when Elon Musk of Tesla said something, every time he tweet or say something, the price drop. So as if you choose to invest in something like that, you have to expand your awareness. You have to be in the question, is now the time to sell? Would it create greater possibility if I hang on to it? What would my life be like in next week, in 10 years, in 20 years if I hang on to this stock? So you have to be willing to use all those tools to allow yourself to make those choices. And if you use that tools all the time, you'll be a great investor. It's such a simple tool, but it just allow you to have more, to create more, and to generate more. If you're able to be in the question, choice, possibility, and contribution.
John Collins, I knew you'd love those comments. So, vibrationally compatible with money. It's the energy that you're willing to be, and also recognize that money is not a thing. It is literally an energy. It shows up in all sorts of different ways, some of which will find its way into your wallet, into your bank account, but there's so much more that's available out there in ways that you can't even imagine, because you've already defined what you think money should be. If you're willing to have intimacy with money, then it can show up in the infinite ways that is actually out there. If you ask any economist, any economic theorist, they will always tell you that money is energy, there's an infinite supply of it, and it shows up in the most weird ways if you have no point of view about what it should look like.
John Collins, when you said that time to follow
Elon Musk.
Yes, follow him. And then the question you could ask every time you see him doing something weird is that, what contribution can I be that would allow him to lead this business as a conscious leader that he could truly be? Because it's amazing business, and he's amazing innovator and creative business person. But every now and then the people that you want to invest the business in, you want to be a contribution for the leader to be a true conscious leader. So every business that I invest in, I would always ask, I look at the board, I look at the leadership team, I look at the CEO, and I always ask, what contribution can I be? What generative energy space consciousness can I be to allow these people to be a conscious leader that they truly be? If I'm going to invest in anything, I am also see myself as the part ownership in those business. And I will choose to be a contribution to allow them to have energy, space, and consciousness to be a conscious leader. And we all can be that. If we are going to invest in anything, we have to be the contribution to the business to grow, to expand, and don't react when the business are not doing too well. Because every time you react, every time you judge it, you make it worse.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about definitions. Why don't we change tack a little bit here? So one of the things we ask you to look at is what
Wait, question, guys. Sorry.
Hello, Kufit.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Who is it?
This is Kindy.
Hi, Kindy.
Hi.
Hi, guys. You were explaining something about what the lady said that came out differently, but I guess she was speaking for myself. You were talking about the two difference about rebuilding from a place like willing to lose, but not from the place of rebuilding it again. Can you go more in that for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
If you feel that it's the same thing with loss. Now, this is, Sabine, this is not about you. This is just using some of the words that most people will use out there. I'm willing to lose because I know I can always rebuild is a very different energy than I'm always creating. So therefore, it doesn't matter if some of them don't work because I've got so many creations going on anyway that I know I can always out-create anything. Not just when something wrong goes on, something goes wrong, okay, because that's a judgment. But if you truly know that you can create no matter what, then you can never be worried about something turning out different than what you'd expected. The flip side of that is, oh God, I hope I don't lose money on this, because if I've lost money, then I've lost it forever and ever and ever and ever.
So the trust in your capacity to create and generate more, no matter what, you will willing to be, do, have, create, and generate everything with total ease. But the trust in your capacity to create and generate more is so important. Because if you don't trust, then you're going to be so fearful about losing. And
true trust is where you know you can always create. That's all you need to know. You can always create. No matter how deep or dark it seems, you can always create. You can choose different, you can create. And every time you choose to function from that space of create, that's what attracts money.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Great question. Thanks for that. So, what definitions are you using to create the life you are choosing? But before we get on to that, Rachel has something she'd like to ask. Rachel?
I'm sorry, I was just writing the clearing. So basically what I was looking to ask you is that trust where you know you can always create, the trust in your capacity to create and generate more.
Yeah.
I've always created more in the last few years, and I still sometimes go to these places that I've absolutely no trust in myself. It's insane. I know it's insane. It's completely insane. There's no justification. There's no reason for it. What is that like?
Just, Rachel, you just have to let it go. It's not the kind of things that you could do anything about it, because it really is not real. The lack of trust. Who are you being when you don't trust yourself? You're just saying that you know that you can create and generate more. You have seen yourself doing that. And every now and then you really don't trust that. So who are you being?
And the question then is, who does it belong to?
Totally.
Who are you being is a thing. When you said, I don't trust it, you can say, oh, this is not me. Who am I being? Destroy and uncreate. Everywhere that I'm choosing to be this person. And, you know, Rachel, how many collective unconsciousness in your area that you're coming from that believe in that point of view about not trusting?
You mean the Irish
yourself?
point of view?
Massive.
So it's everywhere that you have brought in collective unconsciousness of the Irish as real and true for you. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all, please?
Absolutely.
Right or wrong, good or bad, pock and pot, or nine shorts, boys and beyond.
And the other part of that is that we use the word trust because it seems to be a very popular word, but what we're actually talking about is knowing that you can always create. You know it. You know, someone has said in there, who was it? Catty said, how do you create this trust? Well, you know that you create. Yeah. You know that because you know that you create. If you know that you can't create, then you're probably dead.
Do you know, this how is very contextual. And anytime you're starting to want to ask the word how, there's no how. It's about willingness to be. Anytime that you're starting to ask how, you have to step up and say, I'm willing to be greater than what I have been willing to be before. It's no how, it's just willing to be greater than what I have been willing to be before. If you don't trust yourself, you just have to destroy and uncreate all of the projection, expectation, judgment, and conclusion that allow you to actually be in that space. Because the space that you create of not trusting in yourself, it's come from the conclusion, projection, expectation, and judgment that you have just bought from collective unconsciousness of the world. It's not just, Rachel, it's not just for the Irish, but for the whole world that's doing that. But if you have that operative state that you have brought from your family and thing, it's even exponentialized a lot more. So become aware that suddenly when the not trust to come in, and people talk a lot about, I don't trust. What if you just say, instead of I don't trust, it just say, I trust. I know that I can be and do something totally different. And everywhere that would not allow me to be able to be and do, have, create, and generate something totally different, destroy and uncreate it all. Right or wrong, good or bad, pock and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. You see, we are really super lucky to have these clearing.
Can I say something, guys?
Yes.
One thing that helped me, and thank you for doing the last two free Zoom. Stephen brought something that changed my whole entire universe about trusting. Mm-hmm. I was having the definition that trusting was getting it right. And he said something like, it's not about getting it right, it's the willingness to choose. Trusting yourself is keep choosing. And that completely shifted because I was thought, oh, I chose this, thing turned out that, then I'm wrong. So I was like, oh, I won't do that again because that turned out bad. So the definition of it, getting it right, it was what's sticking me with trusting me.
Perfect too, yeah. Because that it's about choosing. And if you can choose in the 10-second increment, there's no right or wrong, good or bad, because you can change in every 10 seconds.
Can I give you something that might be a really good clearing loop, Rachel? And many of you won't like it. I think it's hilarious. Whenever you hear the word how, the only response to that would be start. But how do I start? Start. But how do I start? Well, just start. Where do I start? Start. The greatest antidote to all of that is just to start, just to choose something just a little bit different, and start. Whenever you hear a how, whenever you come up with, well, how do I do this? Then just say to yourself, okay, well, I'll start. Where do I start? I don't know. I'll just start. Because every time you choose, it gives you an awareness you didn't have before. If you're not choosing, you'll get no other awarenesses. Therefore, you will never have a how. This is really practical. This is when we start to look at some of the work that we do in the consultancy work we do around the world with boards and CEOs, they'll often say, how do we go about doing that? And we'll say, well, just start. Well, where would I start? Well, if you knew where to start, where would you start? And then they start. This is how it works. So try that. So let's go back to what definitions are you using to create the life that you are choosing? The interesting thing is that we have many definitions about what our life should be like. We have many definitions about what it is to be in an employed job, what it's like to be unemployed, what it's like to be homeless, what it's like to be a psychiatrist. All these are definitions. And that's the biggest thing that holds us back from truly having intimacy with money, because every definition is just that. It's a definition, which by definition is a judgment and a conclusion.
So what would it be like to be undefinable, unconfinable, and so outrageous that you will be able to be, do, have, create, and generate everything with total ease? So would you be willing to stop defining you? Would you be willing to stop defining what your life should be like? Would you be willing to just follow the energy, be the question, and ask, what else is possible? What else would I like to create here? What would be fun for me to create? And if you actually be the money and you don't see the money outside of you, then you're not actually creating things for the money, because you're already money. Can you see that? If you are already being money and the money is not separate from you, then everything you do, you just be doing it just for the fun of it. You're not going to be doing it because you need to make and to get money.
So every time you think you've got a definition, every time you're functioning from your life of a definition of whatever it might be, just ask yourself, well, what if that wasn't true?
So what definition are you using that create the lack of financial independence you are choosing?
Ouch.
Everything that is time of Godzillion, destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, pop and pot, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. We're going to talk a lot about creating financial reality, financial independence with total ease. But if you have a lot of definition about what it's supposed to be, you're going to not create that with ease. So this first session, that's why we are clearing a lot of this now, to allow you to see that all of definition you are using to create the amount of money you have in your life that you are choosing. Whatever amount of money you have, it's according to the definition that you are using. So if you're already a multi-millionaire, what would it be like if you let go of the definition of what being multi-millionaires is and allow you to be billionaires? So if you not having much money, look at the definition you are using to create not too much money that you are choosing. So we are inviting you to look at the definition right now, please. What definition are you using to create the amount of income, the revenue stream that's coming into your life right now that you are choosing? What if you can change the definition? In fact, what if you destroy those definitions totally and allow obscene amount of money beyond you could ever consider or imagine to come into your life without those definitions? you're going to be able to receive a lot more possibility, a lot more money in your life. So all of the definition that you are using to create the amount of money you are choosing, destroy and uncreate it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, online, shorts, boys, and beyond.
We've got a good example that Janine Graves has put up on the chat there. Thanks for this one, Janine. She says, I was rubbish at maths at school, and there's an that comes up in my world when it comes to numbers. I often freeze if I'm looking at them. I twist them around and get confused. What is this? Are numbers and maths the same thing? So what definition do you have of numbers? What if you change the definition of numbers? What if there was no definition? Because when you say, we teach boards how to read financial statements. Would you like to know how we teach them? Because it's fun. We say numbers mean nothing. They're just an indicator of what we thought was going to happen, what actually did happen, what we think is going to happen. What's the difference between all those things? And what do I need to be aware of now and into the future? That's how you read a financial statement. You don't look at the figures. You look and say, okay, so what has happened? Tap into that. What's happening right now? Tap into that. What could be happening into the future? Now, what, if anything, does that mean to me now? And what, if anything, do we need to do about it? So numbers mean nothing. It is what they represent and the story behind that and the awareness that you get behind it, not the actual figures themselves. So your job is to tap into your awareness about what it means for what has been, what is going to be potentially, and what, if anything, I need to know right now and do about it.
So how many of you use the reason and justification of being bad at maths at school or being bad with numbers?
Figures freak me out.
To eliminate your capacity to generate financial, abundance, financial reality with total ease. How many of us are doing that? So everywhere that you have been using your point of view about, I am no good with money, I am no good with maths, I'm no good with number. That's why I cannot create more financial prosperity in my life. Would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, online, shorts, boys, and beyond. Number and figures and maths has nothing to do with your financial reality. Well, it does, but it doesn't have to do with your capacity to create and generate more. But if you keep hanging on to the lies that I'm no good with money and maths, therefore I will never be rich and wealthy, you have to be willing to destroy and uncreate it all. And if you really want to be able to develop your capacity to do, finance and bookkeeping, educate yourself about it. But you don't. If you're multimillionaires, you can hire something to do your bookwork. You can hire an accountant to do those things. You don't have to do it. You just have to be able to function from awareness and make a lot of money so you can get people to deal with those number and figures.
My personal point of view is that I've always learned how to do it myself. So I've done the bookkeeping, I've done the tax, I've done all of that for about a year. And then when I pay the bookkeepers to do it, I do it with gratitude because I don't want to do it. But knowing how to is a great way where you don't actually give away your power. You don't give away your awareness. So when you're looking at things like figures and numbers, that don't give them any power. They have no power. They are just there. They're a tool, like the words on a page. They're a tool to help you paint a picture. And therefore, the best question you can ask your accountant is, so what are the implications for the future for what this is telling me? Is there anything I need to know? What else do I need to know? What is it that you haven't told me that I should know? If I was to ask you a question about these figures, what would that question be? You go into your financial advisors with questions, never give away your power, to the people that might have more expertise in a certain area, but they're certainly not as aware as you are. So don't give away your awareness in any of these, because that is what's going to help you be even more intimate with money.
And have to let go of the judgment that I'm not good with money and maths. Therefore, I will never be able to make a lot of money. Destroy and create that place, right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Because when you want to invest, you have to educate yourself about investment, but it's not about maths. It's not about the number and figure. You have to be able to read, data and things, but it's not about being good at maths.
You read it for the awareness it gives you. Please get this. Whenever you read a newspaper article, whenever you read a financial statement, you're reading it for the awareness that it gives you, not for the words that are on the page. So if you're going to be truly investing, and we'll talk about this over the 3 months, when you're looking at stuff, read it and be aware of what awareness it's giving you. Otherwise, you will buy into the reality of a whole lot of other people, and they're not that smart.
I think we're talking about number and figures and maths now, and now we're going to create a conflictual statement here right now, is that we have been talking about the first part of this session about being, but you will not be able to have financial prosperity and wealth if you're not willing to do something. So now we're going to ask you to start looking at your own current financial reality, which means...
Before we go any further, can I just ask everyone who's on this call, okay, are you willing to do what we're about to ask you to do? Most of you have said yes. One more time. Are you willing to do what we're about to ask you to do? Okay, most of them said yes to that. All right, now we're going to ask you to do something.
So you're already being vibrationally compatible with money. Now we're going to ask you to be aware of your current financial reality, your real financial reality. I can feel some of you saying, so of the arc of the, I don't want to do it. Please don't ask me to do it. No. Can we go back to talk about
Too late,
again,
you've already
please?
said yes. Too late, you've already said yes. Too late.
Still being vibrationally compatible with money. Now start the doingness of knowing your current financial reality right now. How many of you can actually truly say to yourself, what is your net worth is? How many of you really truly know your net worth? How many of you truly know your asset, your liability, your income, your cash flow, the money that's coming in?
The 14 different ways that cash flows into you that you probably haven't considered, because I guarantee it's going to be more than one. So what we're going to ask you to do is to have, over the next 2 weeks, please have a look and see what your financial position is now with no judgment. Because if you know what it is, then you can make changes to it. If you don't know what it is, you will have your head in the sand at the end of the 3 months.
So you can do this on the computer, or you can get a notebook and start writing down all of your income. You know, some of you might say, well, I'm a facilitator, or I'm a consultant, or
it changes all the time. I don't know how much.
I don't know how much. You just starting to write down all of the revenue stream of income that come to you. You know, and for some of you who said, I don't have any income. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
You just if you're homeless, if you don't have any income at all,
if you're on welfare, That's a
you
cash flow
still
stream.
have income and cash flow. You just have to list it down on a piece of paper, because unless you are aware of what that is, you're not going to be able to create more. This is about create the awareness of what you actually have.
This is the beginning of the change.
You must list down every single thing. So look at this month from the start. Well, today is the first. So start listing the next 2 weeks of what income coming in for your next 2 weeks. So you can just get some clarity about what income, and then look at what other income, for example, that you get from, if you have property, what you get from the rent. If you write books, what kind of commission and things you receive from the book. List down absolutely everything, exactly.
If you get child support, right, that's all revenue coming in. And it doesn't have to be from you doing something. It's money coming into your life. If you start to understand where this money is coming from, then we can actually work with you to show you different ways to actually exponentialize once you know what's actually happening right now.
So you need to know exactly what you are bringing into your life. So you'll be able to look at it and say, well, is this enough for me? If not, what can I be and do different to create more? But a lot of people have no idea about what they are having. So they're not even create their future. They not create their financial reality. They just function from autopilot mode.
They lurch from ignorance to more ignorance.
So everywhere that would not allow you to be willing to do this, everywhere that you're resisting doing this, and every day you can ask yourself, what am I not, who am I being? What am I not willing to be? That if I choose to be, it would create totally different possibilities, because every day that you're refusing to be, create the space for you to see, what are you resisting? Who are you refusing to be? That if you not refusing to be it, would create totally different possibility in your life. And I know a lot of you will say, I hate it, I don't like it, I can't do it, I don't want to do it.
It's depressing.
Just lower the barrier down and keep doing it. You need to practice doing this. It's so crucial if you want to change your financial reality.
And don't, please, no judgment. This creates awareness. It's not about judging. Remember one of the things we said, and this should be tattooed on everyone's forehead. Information creates awareness. That's all it does. It just creates awareness. So what we're asking you to do is have greater awareness by collecting some of this information.
You don't have to show it to anyone. No. You need to show it to yourself, though. What's your income? What's your expenses? And what's the asset you have?
What debts do you have? So just write them down. This is not budgeting. It is not about budgeting. We don't budget.
It's create awareness of what you are creating right now. You want to know how you are creating your life right now. And if you don't know your financial reality right now, you are refusing to create with awareness. Because not knowing your financial reality, you are refusing to create.
So, first of all, first bit would be every stream of money that comes in from wherever it might come from. And I think you might be surprised with some of the strange places that money actually does come into your life, whether it be through salaries, commissions, payments, welfare, whatever it is. They're all revenue streams. So
you might be surprised that you might have more money coming into your life than you even thought you have. A few people that we have asked to do this never realize, because they don't actually put everything on paper. once you actually commit to put all those on paper, then you can say, oh, okay, so what can I do to change this? How can I increase my income? But if you don't know how much you have, what you're going to be, you won't be able to be and do something different to increase it.
So look at your expenses. Again, it's not about budgeting. It's just the awareness. Write down all your expenses that you've got with the dollar amounts against it. What outstanding debts do you have? You know, do you owe money on credit cards? Do you owe money on house mortgage payments? Whatever they are, it doesn't matter, because what this is going to do is to create awareness in your universe. The vast majority of people never do this, or they go through some sort of budgeting exercise. Not relevant.
So anyone here still having a doubt and the difficulty about choosing to do it? Anyone here refusing to do it? Everywhere that you're still refusing to do that, destroy and create it all, please. Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all 9 short boys and beyond. Now, don't judge yourself if you don't do it every day. But so tomorrow, if you still don't do it, you can ask yourself, so what am I refusing here? Destroy and create it all. Okay, I'm still refusing it. So if you keep on asking that, you're going to get awareness about what fear are you using? What judgment are you using to stopping you from creating your financial reality with total ease? And if you're refusing to do it, you still can use those time to give yourself awareness of why you're refusing to do. And you give you awareness of how you are creating your life and your reality. But if you're still refusing to do it for the next 14 days, something needs to change if you want to create different possibilities.
Ruth, we love you, Ruth, by the way. Thank you for the comments in there. You've said it's uncomfortable, all the unconsciousness around spending. Well, what if it wasn't spending? See, if you look at it as spending, then you're looking at it from that, well, once it's gone, it's gone. It's not creating anything. I'm just spending it. Just be aware of where the money goes, all right? Where you're choosing to send it. But don't have any judgment about it, because if you have judgment about it, you cannot change. So just be aware of where these things are going. Don't try and change them yet. Well, you know, one of the things we always talk about is, you know, the best way to reduce your expenses is by making more money.
And sometimes when we call it spending from the space of wrongness and judgment, if you truly look at it, maybe it's not spending from diminishment, but you're using the money to create more in your life. So if you list down all of your expenses and you look at each line of the expense, you might see that, oh, that money actually look like I have spent it and lose it. But in fact, I'm actually using it to create more in my life. So it will allow you to look at your line item for your expenses, to look at, oh, I have not actually diminished my money from spending. I actually use money to create and generate different possibilities in my life. But so often when we call expenses and we said, oh, I spent money and I lost all those money, you have not. But you have not been aware of, okay, I spent the money to, take my daughter to do something, together and have fun together. Am I spending money and losing that money, or am I using money to create different possibility together? So you can look at each one of that, and instead of judging that I've spent money and lose it all, you're starting to see when you're actually using money to create greater possibility, when you're actually using money to create and generate more in your life instead of losing it.
And it's not about doing less, folks. It's not about spending less. That's what the whole focus of these 3 months is about: creating way past what you could even imagine. That includes money, does not exclude it. But the creation, the generation, Chitissa mentioned before the 4 key elements of intimacy with money. And, over the next 4 calls, we're going to actually be exploring those in depth. What were they again?
having money,
That one?
generating money instead of getting money,
That's really cool, that one.
and educate yourself about your personal finance and
How money works in this reality.
and how to use this reality to work for you.
Yeah.
And
Generosity of spirit.
And generosity of spirit are the 4 key things that if you cultivate and develop together of us in the next 3 months, we can change the world. Hello.
She's back.
Do you have something to say? No?
No? Okay, cool. So what we invite you to is to look at this whole thing as, okay, we could spend months telling you how to make more money. A, you wouldn't hear it. B, you wouldn't do it. And C, that's not how money is actually being created. So that's a waste of everyone's time. What we're inviting you to do is to actually step into that space of intimacy with money, the joy, the ease, the infinite possibilities that's out there. No problems. It's just all possibilities of what we can actually look and create. And actually trusting that you are the creator of everything.
So everywhere that you at the moment hanging on to the point of view that what we have asked you to do is not fun, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all, please? Right or wrong, good or bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys and beyond. What if it's fun? What would it take for it to be fun?
I want to see if anyone's listened. Okay. I'm going to ask you this question, everyone, and I'd like to see you put the responses in the responsing there. Okay. So my question is, well, how? How do you start? How? Oh my God, they were listening. Look at it. Start. Oh, you guys rock.
And what I would invite you guys to do, but particularly for those people who say, it's not going to be fun. This is not going to be fun for me. And you stomping your feet that I'm refused to have it be fun. Just ask.
Steve is so strict.
Mr. Kearney.
How are we doing, guys? Great call. Absolutely fantastic.
Is it going to be fun for you, Paul?
It's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait.
It's so much fun. I can see you smiling. You can't wait to just get off the call and have fun.
Out of the park. If I don't come on any other call, it's worth the €500 or however much I paid. This is a fantastic call. He nailed it, guys. Absolutely nailed it.
So, all of you, can you please maybe send in how you actually change your point of view from not fun to fun? And while you're doing
You mean it's just a point of view, darling?
Yes. So those people who send in the small brief explanation, not the essay, about how you actually change your point of view for it's going to be horrible, it's going to be painful, and I'm going to hate every minute of it. And I don't want to do it. I don't know why they are trying to convince me that I should do it. It's so much fun and I can't wait to do it. So if you can send in some story about how you change your point of view from not fun to fun, maybe we can give them some gift.
Ooh.
I don't know what we have to give, but I'm sure we'll find something.
You guys are hilarious.
All righty. The champagne's run out. Imagine if we'd kept it full. So thank you, everyone, for our first call. This is a fantastic journey that we're going on here. But
is it time?
It is time.
Really?
It is time. It is time.
This wants to stay longer.
No, but we have some housekeeping things to talk about, though. Listen, right? So
Yeah,
should we let Listen do some talking?
Sure.
Because
things like Facebook pages and all that sort of
yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
But
So
last clearing. What generative energy space consciousness can you and your body be that would allow you to be vibrationally compatible and vibrationally appealing to money with total ease. Everywhere they would not allow that right or wrong, good or bad, talk and pot, online shorts, boys and beyond.
You just got
I love you guys.
Hi, Claudia.
Okay, so some practical things about Facebook pages and so on. Lisa?
Yes, no, I really want to be appealing to money. That felt really great. Like that. Let's do that in the Facebook group. So we do have a closed Facebook group. A lot of you guys have been invited, and the link is also in the email that you received when you paid. And if you're not on, I tried to find you on Facebook. I need to be your friend to be able to add you. You can also click on the link and you'll get to the group, and then I just have to accept you. So it's either way. You can be friends with me if you like. If you don't want to do that, you can just click on the link and I will then add you to the group. So the two things. And we will be posting things there, and you can chat with each other. And already during the call, there's
already some great videos on that already that people can. So it's going to be full of fantastic resources that you can use again and again and again. But you've got to join the group.
Yeah. Yes, you got to join the group.
Actually, listen, can we get, invite them to share the story, how they move from horrible, not fun, and why you forced me to it's so fun. Can we post that on Facebook?
Absolutely. So maybe we should ask everybody to post it there and not send it to you guys.
Exactly. I like that better. That's a better idea.
So that's your home plate, to post on there how you got to the horrible work you have to do, to having a lot of fun with it. And we'll encourage you to post your experience, change, and everything. Let's play there, because one of the things I love is having that energy of everybody's back and contribute whatever we can create. And next week there will also be, so in 2 weeks we have our next Zoom call, and next week we'll have something sent out, inspiration, something we can work with that the Bowmans will be sending out. And it will also be translated for everybody. So the group is in English. I'm seeing the questions here. The group is in English, and everybody helps out pitching in translation, but not every comment will be translated. So it's more some of the things that we post there. But it's a playful group. It's not to have one German, one Hungarian, one French. We're asking everybody to help out with languages.
I'm hoping to learn a lot of Hungarian from this.
Steve is so good at Google Hangout. He's going to be translated for everyone. Not Google Hangout, Google Translate. I'm sure he's translated for everyone.
You should hear Etoile and me just talking French like a native person that I am.
And the German actually asked Dave to stop using the Google Translator to translate the English into German. It was so bad. So.
I know. And for everybody that is on languages and translation, we will not have the capacity to translate everything. So just bear with us. It is a call in English, and we're making our best what we can with the translation. We will not be perfect. If you think if we're perfect, you get more out of it, I don't think that is going to work. And I'm sure you guys get so much change and possibilities with everything that will be created. So we're going to work all together for this. And everybody is spamming me now with texts. That is funny.
Please, beyond the Facebook group and all those, please do what we have asked you to do, to become aware of your current financial reality. And also, please do every morning and night, be the generative energy space and consciousness of that allow you to be vibrationally compatible with money. You would never look back. Once you see that money is not outside of you, once you are being vibrationally compatible with money, everything you be and do will allow the money to come to you with ease.
That's the next
and more ease for some of you. I mean, some of you already have ease with money, but what would it be like if you even have more ease with money?
Now, a couple of practical things for the Hungarians, the French, the Germans. Please post your questions, talk to your translators. If you want to come on and ask a question live, then come and do that. The translators can translate as well too, I think. Is that correct, Lisa? Yep, they'll take that. So please be part of this. It gives me a chance to practice my many, many languages that I don't know. Alrighty, on that note, thank you so much, everyone. We will be sending stuff out in the next week, and then we will see you all online in 2 weeks' time. We'll send out reminders to you and the links for the next call.
And you get something next week, audio
Correct.
download.
Some goodies. Okay, bye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Great job.